Because you're working on two projects, aren't you, at the moment? One with Jack Drumarts, as you mentioned earlier, on the Doorstep gigs, and then also with Louis and Johnny on biker. Well, I want to say the biker project actually, which is like not. It's like wave your hands in the air and stand over there. Copyright Louis M 2020. And you're sort of doing similar things, aren't you, about how music can influence a community, especially in these times where they need to find a space to have some release, but also some unity and to sort of and happiness. And I think genuinely happiness. And you had your first rehearsal for the Biker Project last week, and I don't know if the Doorstep gigs have started, but what's your feels around that? About how that can because you're going to go out in communities and essentially play 6 to 8 miniature gigs, aren't you?
Yeah. I would say the first thing I want to say is that for me personally, I find it really beautifully ironic that the two companies who I consider my big sister would be Jack Drum Arts and my big brother, Northern Stage, through working with you, Mark, like that those two companies have that forward thinking, and I've always had that forward thinking around like that community engagement, that they're literally employing us to do these projects that go so in line with our ethos and our philosophy. So I find that really fantastic and really special, first of all. I find it really beautiful that we can go and bring our music to people, to communities, to their doorsteps, and in a way where I feel safe to go in working in this pandemic. Because Yilis and I haven't been out, some of our friends got together, we're like, oh, we don't know, not yet, guys, Zoom us in when you get there. So we haven't felt comfortable, but we're about to this Friday go out to our first gigs in Biker, and I feel safe in me bringing that to them in that kind of a way. But I feel like it has so much potential and energy to just get people so excited and bring them out of if they were in holes, or if they were, in whatever thinking, it's going to elevate whatever situation. So I feel like we have the potential to bring, people 50% or 100% to another level, if not just for that moment, but even hopefully more, the idea of increase begets increase. And so if I have that mindset, hopefully that it'll just, spill over, the cup overfloweth.
And we were talking about this idea when she first got contacted, because we always say that our concerts brings community together. So it's kind of like we're creating an event, like the festival creates an event where people come from all the different places and create a community within the space. But like bringing the music to the communities, and I was more reflecting on like where we live, where it's like, yeah, we have loads of neighbors. We don't really know who they are. Like we see them every so often and we say hello, we're very cordial, but we don't specifically know who they are.
And we tried to clap with them during the NHS things, and like nobody came out.
So, but this is kind of interesting where it's like bringing the music to those communities, and maybe if they don't know who they are, even though they can't come together, they can wave at each other, and it's kind of like that is a community that already exists because of the process of them living together. But do they actually know each other, and can they now know a little bit more each other because they came out of the door to listen to the music? Maybe not get so close because we're still social distancing, but like it's that idea of like it is still the community, and it's not a community that we're bringing together, but it's a community that already exists, but that we're sharing our creativity with, which is quite nice to think of in that kind of way.
And then the idea of everybody in the whole wide world having to, like some people think of it as reinvent themselves, but, I mentioned Yilis and I think of this as like we're enhancing ourselves and upgrading the things that we're, who we are and our business, our company. How do we operate in these times? And it's so cool because so many beautiful things have happened during this this situation that we're in. And I feel as though this is a beautiful way to redefine how we music with people. And I think that this thing should not stop. And I think loads of people should adopt what you with Northern Stage and Jack Drum Arts are doing. And I think we should do it all the time, every year, in various ways. And it's not, and I hope people don't think, oh, well, they did it, so I can't. No, do it and call it something different. And let's share links. And, so these are things that are new. We're developing them, and they can last even past this, situation, and can enhance us. So what are the things that we can keep, that are making us sustainable even for the future? And it's redefining our audience space, and it's redefining how we interact with one another. And then the other cool thing, of course, because Yilis tends to be a superhero sometimes, and she's doing this really beautiful project where she's doing a special commission where she's actually taking she's going to be creating some visual art, and she's going to be and there's going to be a 2-week or 4-week installation, and she's going to ship out these prints to different people's homes. So she's also redefining what the gallery space is, and is celebrating, Afrofusion culture and art, how we think of it. But it's also giving a beautiful narrative of, of, I guess, Black or, people of color, however people want to, call it. But it's, giving images that celebrate Black bodies and different cultures. So then people have an opportunity to put something in their window that people are like, oh, that's cool, versus like, oh, there, another something happened. And not that story, people need to know of the bad things, but it's also people need to be reminded and inspired about good things. And that's another thing our festival does. It's a way where we can, create the narrative around how people of color, how Black bodies are looked at, and seeing us in all our excellence, and redefining that narrative of all of the negative things we've been conditioned and programmed with, all this limiting old school colonial malarkey, So it's a way that we can take control of our image and narrative.
Here.
Hey.